Welcome back to Casey Talk. I'm Joe Casey here with Ethan Smith. Today we're going to be talking about Ethan Smith and his work for the Siena College Radio. Ethan, what do you do for Siena College Radio?
Well, ideally, Joseph, I do 2 radio shows. One of them is a single-hosted show. It's called Any Given Monday. It's on Mondays from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And I talk about the 4 major North American sports, from football to hockey, basketball, and baseball. You can catch it right here on our college radio, like you mentioned, WVCR, The Saint. And I just talk for about an hour to the general public about, from, like I said, the North American sports and just generally anything that catches the fancy, usually the hot topic in sports. The other one is a co-hosted show with another member of our major, Brian Germanero, and it's called the Siena Coaches Show. We took over for members of athletics that did not want to keep the show going, but we kept it alive, revived it, and we talked to members of D1 athletics from athletes to coaches, hence the Coaches Show, and we do interviews and talk about the hot topics in Siena athletics.
How did you get involved with the Siena College Radio?
Well, it was ideally actually on move-in day my freshman year. I decided to put my foot in the door. I talked to the Siena Radio manager, Darren Kibbe, very approachable gentleman. He was actually there on move-in day trying to recruit people, and I just saw the door was open. I stuck my foot in the door, as mentioned, and I said, hey, I'm a college communications major, first day. I'm sports comm major track. I want to put my foot in the door. I want to make a good name for myself, and ideally this is something I would really want to do. I want to put my name out there and do something related to sports radio or sports television. So I whipped out a couple sports facts for him, told him what I want to do in my future, and he said that is outstanding. We're looking for new sports radio hosts. You got the gig.
What other skills does the Siena College Radio require of you?
Well, you have to be willing to do it. He said you don't have to be the most radio savvy guy. You don't have to be, who could I attribute it to? Howard Stern. You don't have to be Howard Stern or Craig Carton, arguably the most successful sports radio guy out there right now. What you have to do is you have to be willing to do it. You have to be willing to put your name out there, and you have to be willing to take criticism, take heat, and ideally you have to be not afraid to put your name and your voice out on radio.
What is your goal with the Siena College Radio?
My goal is to be able to just genuinely get my name out there, be a successful radio guy, and ideally transition this from what could be a collegiate radio station into eventually transitioning this to a job in a professional standpoint, and eventually transitioning this into a professional job somewhere in a radio somewhere else. Ideally, dream job would be radio in Pittsburgh.
Well, Ethan Smith, thank you for coming to the show. That's been another episode of Casey Talk. That's all for today. I'm Joe Casey.